world, yeah. They didn't believe me, so I put in the work. I did it for my kids, I put in the work. I did it for the money, I came from the dirt. They didn't believe me, so I put in the work. I did it for my kids, I put in the work. I did it for the money, I came from the dirt. They didn't believe me, that I put in the work. I did it for my family, I put in the work. I did it for the money, I came from the dirt. Welcome to King Gunner's world. Welcome back to King Gunner Show right here at Midnight Mafia Radio at www.midnightmafiarecords.com. Today's show on King Gunner's World is about the collapse of the US dollar and the change that the world is evolving in. Some fear, some say sound the alarm, some say run for the hills. Others simply don't even care. I chose this mission, this specific role, to be the bridge of the communication to the people of the public, to end fear and to embrace change and to spread love. Warning after warning, disaster after disaster, and still we refuse and ignore the signs to embrace love, peace, and change. The question that I got was, how do we rebuild? Where do we start? Where do we go? What must be done for this change to be inevitable, forever, consistent, persistent, and precise? Mothers are tired of grieving and burying their children. Fathers are tired of grieving and burying their children. The world is tired of grieving and burying loved ones, all due to selfish act of violence that's been getting out of control over the years in triples and doubles and numbers and homicides and fatal deaths and self-inflicted deaths and power control death of deputies who own badges. I'm talking about guns, ladies and gentlemen. Guns is the number one plague that's killing us. White, black, brown, purple, pink, every single race. Weaponry. Acts of violence. Acts of hate. It's what's causing this disturbance, this distractions. It's killing us all, morally, spiritually, and physically. How do we fight back? How do we fight back? We fight back by voting to ban automatic rifle weapons. We vote to make it very impossible for somebody who's been convicted of anything, mental, unstable conditions, active violence, and criminal history dates back from their juvenilehood. It goes to the security measures that will have to be taken for anybody to purchase a gun. It has to be fingerprinted. It has to be DNA samples done. If for any human being to possess a gun, has to be cleared locally, federally. It has to be cleared. They have all the sources. They got the fingerprints. And they got the DNA swabs, your mouth or your hair strands or whatever it may be. Every single retail store that sells weaponry should have this type of knowledge, this technology for fingerprinting, mouth the DNA swab, hair DNA swab, to date back to that customer's history mentally and criminally. This is how we will eliminate this problem. A bill must be passed for realtors, wholesale stores to do a thorough investigation when it comes to purchasing a gun. Purchasing a gun should be like purchasing a car. A background check of their criminal mental records. Getting a gun shouldn't be so easy, just like buying cigarettes. It shouldn't be that easy. Where did the morals of this earth, this world, has gone? Money? And you wonder why the collapse of the dollar, because there was no morals behind your dollar. What had morals was China, the euros. They created with love, they created with change, they created with positivity, and they created with peace. Your US dollar has so much unnecessary blood on it. It's been dethroned. It has no value. The US will be reconstructed. It will be rebuilt. How dare you could go so far to insult, to deceive these people that put their trust into the leaders to lead them into the future. But instead, you figured out loopholes and ways to keep money generating in your pockets and keep the poor rich separated, hidden all the textbooks and knowledge so no one can find out them true selves and understand that they are being controlled by a material thing that in reality doesn't serve any purpose. And the thing is, so many great leaders sat with chairmen and senates from different regions and told them, like, hey, once your people of your nation understands what's happening, you're gonna fall. Once they understand that you let money rule, and once they understand the money is just literally paper from trees, and when their conscious minds start waking up, what are you going to do when the uproar happens? How would you charge for something that has no value? You know, when someone's hungry, do you really think they're going to sit there and wait till they make money to go eat? Like when a lion's hungry and the law of nature, he hunts. They hunt. They get so hungry, all they want to do is eat. They're hungry, they're starving. Do birds and lions have money to eat? They find their prey and they hunt it down. So if the law requires that in nature they don't pay for their food, why are we paying for our food? Why are you walking around amongst your own living people watching them suffer when billionaires are sitting in their penthouse suites and their private islands and paying lobbying and corrupting the whole system so they can run from it, watch it on the news and laugh like one big old curse. Well, the curse has been exposed and the curse has been broken and the hex has been upon that those that do evil shall reap what they sow. You had a good run, but now it's time for the rich to fall poor and for the poor to be rich. Our ancestors said it before, money cannot buy your way into the kingdom. It cannot. So now you have all this money, and it has no value. What has value now is morals. Morals are measured by your consciousness and your subconscious mind, which you call your soul. Your soul was driven by your ego, and your ego allowed you to consciously tell yourself that material things matter. Your cars, your money, your nice houses, your little hot chick, young chick that you got by your side. This to figure out was just a lie. In the new phase of the world is not ending, ladies and gentlemen. The world is growing, it is evolving. And obviously, Dubai, China, Russia, granted, sanctions were crossed, but, fees will be paid. Dues will be paid. We are evolving in a world where China's leading. In technology, they've been assisting the U.S. with phenomenal amounts of technology, and not once have they ever posed a threat to us. We owe them so much, and over the years, they have shown they have pride. They have shown they have respect. They have shown that even when they don't have power, they are willing to back up. They played their position for decades. They deserved it. They deserve it. And now it gives time for U.S. to reconstruct. It gives time to the leaders to reevaluate their plan and listen to the people that make up America, that make up this nation. And I'm telling my people, now it's time to make some noise. Because now they are forced to listen. They are forced to pass these bills. And I say, do it in the most respectful, humbling, positive way. Because the only way it can happen now is positive. Positive. When you see the mob running and trying to spread hate and fear, don't fear. Keep being positive. Because everything happens for a reason. None of my people will starve. None of my people will go hungry. None of my people will be poor. The earth is growing. It is growing and it is evolving. Like I said, when the earth shakes, earthquakes, it just starts growing. It's growing. And we need to be growing with it. And fully, the people who truly understand, the leaders understand, it's China. They fully understand that this earth is growing. And as it grows, technology needs to grow. We need to keep up. They got resources that we don't have. And it needs to be said, U.S. does not have all the answers. They lie. They cover up so much crap. The greedy was driven by greed and ego. And that's why it's so complex to do anything around here. You go to Dubai, you go to China, you go to any other region, and it's peaceful. The energy is phenomenal. And you get back to the U.S., it's so much static and confusion because there's no leadership, real leadership. You guys let your presidents tell you how to live and this and that. I'm like, search your own self. Close your eyes and search out your own self.
Victory, Victory. Victory, victory, that's my battle cry.
Victory, victory, that's my battle cry.
SOLDIER.
SOLDIER.
Soldiers, soldiers, that's who we are.
Soldiers, soldiers, that's who we are.
COUNTRY.
COUNTRY.
For duty, honor, country, I'd give my life.
For duty, honor, country, I'd give my life.
C-130 rolling down the strip.
C-130 rolling down the strip.
Airborne Ranger on a one-way trip.
Airborne Ranger on a one-way trip.
Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door.
Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door.
Jump right out and count to 4.
Jump right out and count to 4.
Midnight Mafia Radio app is the hottest podcast for self-developmental educational shows and the hottest, newest music download. Only at your friendly Google Play Store.
Those who have ears will hear. Those who have eyes shall see that the truth is right in front of me. I seeked, I asked, they answered, and they provided a way to see brighter, greater, colorful days. This is a time where people should really self-evaluate themselves, evaluate their careers, ask real self-questions. Who am I? What is my purpose? What makes me happy? What do I love? Because obviously, if you're asking the wrong questions, then you're working the wrong things. You should wake up with joy in your heart. You should wake up wanting to change for the better, not for the worse. You shouldn't have to hide your pain. You shouldn't have to hide your guilt. You shouldn't have to ask if you're good enough. You shouldn't have to hide who you really are. Our biggest threat is not knowing our true selves. Because that leads to confusion, and confusion leads into frustrations, and frustrations leads to emotions. Scientists studied that emotions were driven by financials. Emotions was driven by the state of mind of the being of the environment. And it's not fair. Some people really don't have the means or the support or the help to live. And it's right. You're right. It's not fair. How is the rich keep getting richer? And why is the poor getting poorer? See, the thing is you fell into that predicament by believing them. You fell into that mindset, that trance by following them. I'm not here to discuss white or black, Catholics, Mormons, Christians, Celtics, cults. I'm not here to talk about none of that. But understand this, the Ankh, the cross, the star, the circle, all came from the same being. The same being. How can a country thrive when it's divided? The same being that gave you religion is the same being that was saying peace. Peace be with you. And yet you still don't get it. While you spend your millions digging up pyramids from ancient histories and Roman emperors and Pluto's great poets and, Apollo's harp. You still don't understand. You still don't get it. Numerous documentations were written in Latin, Greek, Egyptian, African, Kabbalah, written in a form that we all could learn it and understand it so we can evolve with it, with the harmony of peace, joy, and love, and usher in the golden age again, prosperity, abundance, wealth. And yet you guys still don't understand it. Many of our ancestors walked this earth, picked up the Ankh and the cross, symbolized the same thing, life. The Ankh and the cross symbolize life. The star represents life. The circle represents earth. You could break it down, dissect it all you want, but the proof is in the pudding, and it's all related to the same being. So what we are having here is simply a great shift to usher in that new energy, to usher in that new, to usher in what was always been given. Heaven on earth. I'm not the one the Bible, the Revelations prepared the chosen one for this moment. And those, who are confused, consumed with fear, well, run for the hills, go hiding under a rock. For those who understand, rejoice with pleasure, get drunk off joy, make love in the energy of passion and abundance and prosperity. Allow the guardians to sound the trumpets and sing songs of love. Allow the birds sing and dance in the sky, free, independent. We live again, we live again. No man is perfect, not even the man the Son sent. The man is supposed to sin to live to learn. But long as he repents, he may live again. Resurrected through resurrections. Those that know I can't cross these sections. So this was the land of the free, so put down your weapons. Because this whole thing was made to be ruled by man underneath the covenant. I am a man. I am awake. I see and I hear. And I speak from a place of peace. I speak from a place of wisdom. I speak from a place of love. Please do not give up. Because better days is now and well upon each and every single one of us. Those who are afraid, simply get rid of your fear, because fear is not wanted here on this earth kingdom. And I can't express enough how sorry I am for the things that allowed and was allowed. It was never supposed to get so out of control. But money became so powerful, it hardened every single human being's heart. It was driven by money. But money was just supposed to be valued as transactions to add morals and values to hard working and what you can make underneath the sun. It was never supposed to be racketeered up to the point where everything you did and you just needed to have money. To walk on the street, you needed to have some money to. It was never supposed to be like that. It was just supposed to be all simple city. But now we reached a place where we got to set new rules, set a new playing ground. Money's still going to exist, but it's not going to be so hard to access. It's not going to be so hard for people to live. Everybody should be able to be happy on these terms. It's going to keep the peace. You know, generations going to be able to live generations for generations. Violence is not going to be wanted here. You know, I mean, of course it's going to be here, but it's not going to be as bad as it was or is. And it's going to take patience, but we are in the new times where little by little, hate is going to be gone, death is going to be gone, and it's just going to be a beautiful sync harmony. It's nothing but positive love, pleasurable, experience of how it should have been. So, I really can't go into too much depth about things, but it's definitely worth waiting for, and it's definitely worth helping create. Just think of whatever heaven is to you and put it on earth. A lot of people don't know what heaven is because the knowledge has been rewritten, the knowledge has been forgotten, and people lost hope. But there was a man that walked this earth before, carried the cross. The same man that walked on water. The same man said he will come again. And you will know when. The war was already in the Revelations, and we already won. I just ask you, get rid of fear and stand with courage. Stand with courage. Do it with love. And take your power back. Patience is the key to knowledge, asking questions and seeking the answers, processing the data gives you greater, bigger results. So let's focus on money, more creativity, on love, and helping one another. Go back to the fundamentals. Treat your neighbor as thou wilt treat thyself. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And I promise you, while listening to Midnight Mafia Radio, I'll be here to guide you through every change, every challenge. I will do my best to bring you through every storm. But all I'm simply telling the world, stress less, love, and live more. And I appreciate you listening to King Gunna right here on Midnight Mafia Radio.